Gino Wickman and Tom Bauer, What the Heck is EOS? A complete guide for employees in companies running on EOS. When everyone in a company is free to set their own priorities, run meetings differently, and invent their own ways of working, the result isn't efficiency, but chaos. An IT services company in Atlanta discovered this the hard way. Each project manager created a unique system for running jobs, so whenever employees switched teams, they had to relearn how to report progress, track updates, and attend meetings. Instead of serving clients, people wasted hours adapting to new methods. Frustration grew, and the company started losing clients, employees, and money. That kind of confusion happens because there's no single operating system, the framework that shapes how people plan, solve problems, and work together. When 50 people each use a different method, work fragments, priorities clash, and disorder spreads. A team of ordinary performers who follow one system will always outperform talented individuals pulling in different directions. That's why you need one clear structure everyone can rely on. In this blink, you'll see how EOS works in practice. You'll learn its 6 key components and the tools that put it into practice. By the end, you'll understand not just how EOS strengthens a company, but the role you play in it. EOS turns vision into disciplined execution. EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, is designed for 10 to 250-person entrepreneurial companies that are open-minded and growth-oriented. While it can be applied in larger or smaller firms, this mid-size range is where it makes the biggest difference. Leadership teams in these companies wrestle with multiple issues at any given time, from shifting technology to demanding clients. They can't succeed without a system that aligns everyone. EOS provides structure and discipline so employees know what matters, where they fit, and how their work connects to larger goals. This means less frustration and more clarity for everyone. At the heart of EOS are 6 key components. The first is vision. Without alignment, managers in different departments give conflicting instructions, pulling teams in opposite directions. EOS resolves this with the Vision Traction Organizer, or VTO, a set of 8 shared answers that align long and short-term goals. Don't worry about specific tool names right now. We'll be covering those in further sections of this blink. The second component is people. Success requires the right people in the right roles, those who live the company's core values and work in positions that play to their strengths. With this mix, communication improves, problems get solved quickly, and opportunities open for everyone. The third is data. Too many companies rely on opinions instead of facts. EOS uses scorecards, which track progress weekly, and measurables, specific numbers owned by one person that show performance and trigger action. These keep progress visible and accountability clear. The fourth component is issues. Every business has them, but too often they linger unresolved. EOS strengthens this area with 2 tools: an issues list, a running log of problems, and the issues solving track, a simple sequence to rank and resolve them permanently. The fifth is process. By documenting and following core processes, from sales to billing, companies create consistency. Repetition becomes smoother, errors drop, and energy can go towards solving unexpected challenges rather than repeating routine ones. The sixth is traction. This is where execution comes in. Companies set quarterly priorities, called ROCs, an EOS term for 90-day goals, and hold a weekly Level 10 meeting with a fixed agenda to solve issues and keep the team aligned. Discipline replaces drift, deadlines get met, and accountability becomes part of the culture. Together, these 6 components turn individuals into a cohesive team. Your role is to engage with each component, understand the vision, know if you're in the right seat, track your measurables, raise issues, follow processes, and commit to your ROCs. Over time, this can completely transform your company. Let's explore how. Clear vision and roles remove the fog. When leaders aren't aligned on where their company is going, confusion filters down to every employee. At one telecom firm, managers were each asked to name the company's top priority for the year. None gave the same answer, indicating that employees had no clear path forward. EOS solves this with the Vision Traction Organizer, or VTO. This one-page framework gets leaders to agree on 8 essential elements of the business. These elements become a roadmap for the entire company. Instead of mixed messages, everyone sees the same destination and how to get there. The first step is to define your core values, the behaviors that shape culture and signal who belongs on the team. Next is to pin down your core focus, the combination of why the company exists and what it does best, which keeps everyone in the sweet spot and away from distracting, shiny stuff. Third comes setting a 10-year target, a bold goal that unites everyone and sparks the right questions about what must change or improve to get there. To support that, companies must shape a marketing strategy which combines 4 essentials: identifying ideal customers, naming the traits that set the company apart, showing the repeatable process that creates value, and making a promise that eases a buyer's biggest worry. From there, leaders paint a 3-year picture with revenue, profit, a key measurable, and a few vivid descriptions of what the company will look and feel like. That picture is then grounded in the present by committing to a 1-year plan that sets revenue, profit, and measurables, along with only a few top goals that matter most. To keep those goals on track, teams set quarterly ROCs, 90-day priorities that maintain focus and momentum. Finally, every company must make a visible list of issues, challenges and obstacles, to be solved instead of ignored. Together, these 8 elements keep everyone singing from the same hymn sheet. But clarity of vision only works if people know their role in delivering it. That's where the accountability chart comes in. Unlike a standard org chart, it not only shows reporting lines clearly by removing dotted lines and multiple bosses, it also defines each seat with a handful of core duties. Without this structure, deadlines are missed and work duplicated because no one knows who's truly accountable. An accountability chart eliminates that fog. Every function has a clear owner, decision-making is faster, and communication improves. As growth creates new demands, the chart can evolve, showing where new seats or changes are needed. Your role is to understand the seat you're in, commit to its responsibilities, and see how it fits into the broader picture. That's how you can be confident that your work contributes directly to the company's vision. ROCs and meetings keep progress on track. Big projects often stall because people try to do too much at once or lose focus along the way. EOS tackles this by breaking priorities into ROCs, the 3 to 7 most important things to accomplish in the next 90 days. Think of your time as a jar. The rocks are the biggest priorities, the pebbles are daily tasks, and the sand is distractions. Put the sand in first and the rocks won't fit. Focus on the rocks first and everything else falls into place. Rocks work because people naturally lose focus after a few months. By setting 90-day priorities, teams reset regularly before momentum unravels. Every quarter, you'll review the last set of rocks and agree on new ones. At the individual level, you'll usually take on 1 to 3 rocks that align with your managers or the company's. These aren't extra work. They're the most important part of your role. To be effective, rocks must be smart, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Clearly defined rocks prevent the misunderstandings that vague goals cause and create accountability when progress is reviewed. While you aim to complete them all, the expectation is at least 80%. The bar isn't set at 100% because that leads people to pick easy goals just to look perfect, instead of tackling the most important work. Consistently hitting 80% shows the right priorities are being set and executed. Rocks stay on track because they're reviewed weekly in structured meetings. Most people groan at the thought of meetings, But EOS meetings are different. They're built to save time and actually get things done. Instead of endless talk, the Level 10 or L10 agenda keeps teams focused on results. An L10 meeting happens once a week for about 90 minutes, always at the same time with the same agenda. The goal is fourfold. Confirm progress is on track, keep everyone aligned, hold each other accountable, and solve issues. The agenda moves quickly through good news, measurables, rocks and customer or employee headlines, then into to-dos from last week. The bulk of the time is spent on identifying, discussing, and solving the most important issues, with distractions parked for later. Meetings end on time with a recap, cascading messages, and a rating so the team can improve. Your role is twofold. Commit to your rocks and actively participate in your L10s. Bring issues to the table, be honest in discussions, and hold yourself and your teammates accountable. Done well, rocks and L10s cut through confusion, replace wasted effort, and ensure the company keeps moving forward in steady, measurable steps. Everyone has a number, everyone has a seat. Imagine trying to play a sport with no scoreboard. You wouldn't know the score, whether you'd committed a foul, or how much time was left. Many companies operate exactly like that. People are told to work harder, but they have no way of knowing if they're winning or losing. The fix is a scorecard, a short list of key numbers that show how a company or department is performing week by week. These aren't lofty end goals, but activity-based leading indicators that drive future results. For example, scheduling 20 sales appointments may predict 5 new clients, which in turn drives revenue. When those activity numbers are visible, trends appear, problems surface early, and the team can take action before small issues become crises. A good scorecard usually includes 5 to 15 numbers at the company level, with each department tracking its own 3 to 5. Each entry lists who's accountable, the metric being measured, the target to hit, and the week it applies to, covering a rolling 13-week view so patterns and problem areas stand out quickly. Ownership matters. The who must be the person most able to influence the outcome, not just whoever runs the report. Once these scorecards are in place, guesswork fades. Conversations become clear, accountability rises, and results improve. Because what gets measured gets done. From scorecards comes the idea that everyone has a number. Each person's work is tied to a measurable result, whether that's units shipped, meetings booked, or response times. Numbers cut through vagueness, provide clarity, and let employees see directly how they contribute. They also boost commitment, spark healthy competition, and help teams hold each other accountable. When numbers slip, issues get raised in meetings and solved instead of ignored. But hitting numbers isn't enough if the wrong people are in the wrong roles. That's where the people analyzer comes in. It evaluates both cultural fit and whether someone gets it, wants it, and has the capacity for their seat, the GWC test. Each person is rated on how consistently they live the values. Together, these tools create a clear picture of whether someone is the right person in the right seat, or whether they'd be better suited to another role or even another company. When scorecards and the people analyzer work together, accountability is baked into the system. Everyone knows the numbers they're responsible for, and everyone has a seat where they can succeed. EOS works only if you do. 2 boys once tried to outsmart a wise man in their village by hiding a bird in their hands and asking if it was alive or dead. The man's reply was simple: the answer is in your hands. The same is true for EOS. Whether it succeeds in your company depends not only on leadership, but also on how you choose to use it. EOS ties together 6 core components: vision, people, data, issues, process, and traction. When each is strong, everyone rows in the same direction, roles are clear, and meetings become productive rather than draining. Rocks set every quarter keep priorities sharp. Scorecards give visibility into progress, and documented processes create consistency. but the tools themselves aren't enough. Their real power lies in people committing to them every day, holding themselves accountable, and staying open and honest in solving issues. EOS works only when you work it. To measure progress, companies use an organizational checkup, a simple 20-question survey. Each item is rated on a scale from 1 to 5, with 1 being weak and 5 being strong. Questions include things like, do we have a clear vision that everyone shares? Are our core values used to guide hiring and evaluation? And is everyone in the right seat? Adding up the scores shows how strong the company is in each area, with 80 or above as the benchmark for health. Most organizations score below that at first, but improvement comes as everyone applies EOS more consistently. What matters most is that this isn't a quick fix. EOS is a discipline that builds strength only through steady use, quarter after quarter. That's why your role is essential. Rocks, scorecards, and conversations work when you own them, not when you wait for someone else to drive the process. The message of the wise man holds, the answer really is in your hands. EOS can bring clarity, accountability, and progress, but only if you commit to playing your part. To What the Heck is EOS? By Gino, Wickman, and Tom Bauer, you've learned that companies perform better when everyone follows one operating system, instead of inventing their own ways of working. EOS provides that system, giving growing entrepreneurial businesses a shared framework to reduce confusion, align priorities, and improve accountability across all levels. You've seen how the 6 key components, vision, people, data, issues, process, and traction fit together through practical tools. The Vision Traction Organizer clarifies long and short-term goals, while the Accountability Chart defines roles and responsibilities. Rocks keep teams focused on what matters most every 90 days. And Level 10 meetings solve problems efficiently, instead of letting them drag on. Scorecards and measurables show if progress is on track, while the People Analyzer ensures the right people are in the right seats. Finally, you've learned that EOS isn't just for leadership. It works only when every employee takes part. Your role is to know your rocks, own your number, engage in productive meetings, and use the tools honestly. When you do, EOS turns scattered effort into steady progress, helping both you and your company achieve lasting results.